Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's red.
Eh.
Elgato gets free advertising tonight because I couldn't find my shirt. It's in the dryer probably, and I didn't even have time to look for it. That's how rushed I was. I ran in the door, threw stuff everywhere, and just changed clothes and sat down and microwaved coffee.
Free advertising and they don't even support
Yeah,
Linux.
right.
That's horrible.
Totally bullshit. I probably should take the shirt off, but that would be we would lose viewers.
Yeah.
So it's staying on.
Okay, the stream started.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Linux Tech and Gaming is back for another week, episode 23. That would mean that we've done this for 23 weeks. We did take a week off around the holiday season, the Christmas and New Year season, and we have a great show planned for you today. We got myself, we got Atomic, and Osiris is here in spirit. You can enjoy the little artwork that Atomic created of Osiris. Disregard the white face because Osiris is actually he's African American.
I'll color
So
it brown.
the outline of his face is correct color, but whatever, it's all good. Osiris is fine with the image. He says it actually is pretty close resemblance, so we're good to go there. So how is everybody doing tonight? It's Wednesday. It's yeah, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Holy shit. Man, the week is just flying by.
I
I got
will
so much going on. It's just like it's crazy how fast the weeks are going by now.
I will never
Before I
understand
know
that
it,
hump day stuff.
yeah, before I know it, it's going to be 2016, I'm going to have a kid and I'm going to be like, what the hell happened? Anyway, so we got a great show planned for you tonight. If you're interested in tagging the show, it's Linux T and G. The and is spelled out. You can see the hashtag right in the lower right corner. Do not use the lowest hashtag because that is an incorrect one. Use the one that's right above it.
Yeah, we replaced
We
it.
also, yeah, we also have our IRC channel if you're interested in communicating with us because we are streaming live on 3 different services: YouTube, Twitch, and Hitbox. To unify everyone in one area, we created a IRC channel, and that is Linux Tech and Gaming
Are you picking up
on
them gang signs from Linus?
on free. What gang signs? No, gangs are bad. Okay, so it's Linux Tech and Gaming on irc.freenode.net, and I actually did open the room. I'm in there. I'm saying hi in the room right now. We might end up adding a little window in the lower right corner or below our names of just the IRC channels. I mean, I don't think that's really needed personally. Like if you're in the IRC channel and you're watching the live stream, what do you need to see the IRC channel for?
For
So
people who aren't in the IRC channel.
I, I guess, yeah, I guess the people that watch the show after the fact will can see the conversation of what was said in the IRC channel. I suppose. Anyway, that's something that the show is ever evolving, ever trying to improve, trying to get better, and so on and so forth. So we may end up having a little window, maybe even like a transparent background, so you just see text, scrolling up. That would be pretty cool. Um, so you know, we might be we might be sprucing up the stream. We got to update the image in the background, obviously, what we call an overlay. The text is wrong in the lower right corner, and a few other little things. We got the blue coloring right now. Our main colors on our website are orange, like a dark gray, and black and stuff. So, there's little things that we want to improve on the show, and those will happen over time. And if you want to provide feedback for the show, I'm always open to any type of constructive criticism or feedback you want to provide because that will only make the show that much better for everyone. So let's get the show started, yo. Let's do this. Uh, every week we go through a game, and wow, we just got a tweet from someone that said, "Let them know when we go live."
Well, let them
We're
know.
live. I will let them know.
They're missing the stream.
um, we okay. Sorry, I got stepped off my game. Every week we go through a game that Atomic chooses, and what do you got for us this week, Atomic?
This week I have Blockstorm, and this is a voxel-based first-person shooter. It's a lot like playing CS:GO in Minecraft.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, Blockstorm. Yeah, I'm looking at the image on the right on the Steam page, steampowered whatever.com. Interesting. Are you playing the video for him?
Does it have a video? It has a video. Yes.
Yeah, it's got a weird video. Like, what's going on? They're like creating like, wow, Blockstorm. I guess it's like Minecraft, and you just create stuff with blocks. Why does it look exactly like Minecraft all of a sudden? Oh, and now you can shoot and kill shit. Holy cow! You can destroy you can kill trees.
Yes.
I wonder, it's by Voxel Games? Is it Java based or no? You know?
Is it by Voxel Games? I didn't know that was a...
I thought you said it was.
No, Voxel based.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I misheard you. All right. Voxel based.
Yeah, that's...
And that means what to a person like me who's stupid?
Any kind of Minecraft-like thing where you're dealing with blocks as your main building element is considered voxel.
Huh. Are you making that up? Are you trolling me?
No, I looked up the definition.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I mean, I think I'm watching the video right almost simultaneously with the live stream. That was a that was pretty interesting video, to say the least. Like, man, yeah, you're right. It's like Minecraft, and you get to shoot people.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Click on the second image. It looks like G.I. Joe's, and along with Chuck Norris are sitting around a campfire.
That's what you
This
see
is hilarious.
every time you log into the game.
Oh my gosh, that image is sort of epic.
That's the background you see when you get in the game.
So you did try it? Well,
I had
that's
to
the whole
look.
point of the segment, I guess, is you trying a Linux game. So share
Blockstorm
with
is
us.
already in your Steam library.
What?
Yes.
You bought it for me?
No. No, I bought it for me.
Oh, like you said, it's already in your Steam library.
Well, yeah, I'm
So
logged
you confused me.
I'm logged into my Steam account. It says it's already in my Steam library.
Okay. So it's $11.99. You can get a 4-pack for $34.99.
Yeah.
It does require an agreement to a third-party EULA. That's something that
about
usually
half
I
the
don't
games
see.
on Steam have that, and
okay.
I did not actually see that.
Okay.
I might be misremembering, but I don't think I saw that. But because I suspect a lot of people won't know what a voxel is, I looked up the definition. A voxel represents a value on a regular grid in three-dimensional space. Voxel is a combination of volume and pixel, where pixel is a combination of picture and element. As with pixels in a bitmap, voxels themselves do not typically have their position, their coordinates, explicitly encoded along with their values. Instead, the position of a voxel is inferred based upon its position relative to other voxels.
Huh.
Kind of roundabout explanation, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. It shows a bunch of cubes, and one particular cube is highlighted.
Okay. Yeah.
On the
I'll be perfectly honest. I never heard of the voxel-based games. You know, I host a Minecraft server called UbuCraft, and I didn't even know that I've been playing a voxel based game. So cool, man.
Yep.
Thank you for educating me today. You know, you learn something new every day.
And on the screen, you can see the image here on the Wikipedia
Yep,
page.
I see that now. Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, Again, this is another game that I bought on sale because I hardly ever buy games at full price.
Yeah.
This didn't run so well on Intel.
Oh.
It was some major, major input lag. Like, bad. Like, you couldn't play it.
Oh wow.
But on, even though the frame rates were, like, top notch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they actually fixed this for Intel. I have to do some testing in that department, but it does work very well now on NVIDIA. So that's a thing. And it's not demanding at all. I mean, you can run it on practically anything.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, later on today, I'm going to see how it does on a 750 Ti at 4K. Just for the hell of it.
4K. You and your 4K. Well, we might as well just segue into that because that's huge news. Wow. You have 4 1080p monitors in one monitor.
I do.
Holy shitballs. Share with us.
Okay. You're seeing the screen share. That's one 1080p window. You're seeing there's another one you're not seeing, which is showing me Hitbox and Twitch. And down on the bottom of the screen, I got 3 windows at some sort of resolution. I don't know. Also, Window Manager is automatically spanning them. I got a browser. I got OBS. I got Clementine for music, and then over Clementine, I got the Skype stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Like, you know, one thing you don't ever do, and probably because you don't have a mobile phone with a camera, I don't ever see pictures of your setup. And I remember I missed the day that you live streamed building your desk, so I'd like to see a picture of your 4K setup. You should
at some point.
You should put it up with your build on PC Part Picker.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, whenever you get around to it.
I gotta dig the camera out because it got lost somewhere in all the shuffling.
Yeah, I hear ya. Right, gotcha. Wow, 4K, and you were pushing TF2, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the other day.
Mm-hmm.
With a 750 Ti.
Yeah. Now I was running out of VRAM, so I had some performance issues. But if it wasn't for RAM, I think it would run okay. I had to turn off the MSAA, the anti-aliasing.
Yeah. Yep. Gotcha.
Because it's typically a RAM hog. But
yep. Sorry, I'm being a little distracted here. I'm getting Steam messages. I need to log out of Steam or tell people I'm busy.
Do both. Leave me the hell alone. Log out.
Yeah. Well, it's harmless. He's just asked for me to unregister him on the Mumble server because he got a new SSD, and apparently he didn't heed our warnings about saving their certificate. So,
oops.
That's a thing that's probably going to happen multiple times, and you know, that's the whole reason I created comments on the server, the Mumble server. If you read the comment, it actually tells you to save your certificate to a location. But anyway,
there are comments on the Mumble server.
Yeah. The little C, you know, with a note. It's like a little notepad with a C, a little like a sticky note. Yeah,
nobody notices those.
Yeah, well, they should, because when they first sign onto the server, they're all yellow. So you click on them to read them. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Small little thing. So yeah, there you go. Check out
Blackstorm.
Now I'm brain farting. Check out the game, Blackstorm. and buy 4K monitors. So that's going to do it for our first segment of the show.
Yes, join the 4K
Right,
master race.
right. Man, I can't believe you're pushing that with a 750 Ti. That's insane.
Well, for the desktop, it's no big deal.
Well, right, true
You know,
for the desktop.
if the 750 Ti had 4 display ports, I could push 4K monitors.
Come on, really?
Yeah,
4K monitors.
yeah, it could do that. It just it doesn't
Wow.
have the ports for it.
Like first world problems.
Yeah, I
Holy
mean,
cow.
it has a DVI, it has a HDMI, it has a display port, so I could technically run 3 with 2 of them running at 30 FPS or 30 hertz,
Okay. Yeah.
and it would do it on the desktop.
So does it have, I heard there was some kind of limitation with the NVIDIA graphics driver, or has it been updated now with a newer DisplayPort version number so you can now do 4K at 60? Or am I mixing up something?
I had not heard that, but it might have been a thing. But I plugged it in and it came up in the correct resolution at 60 hertz. So
On the DisplayPort.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I remember I remember the Linux Gamecast talking about, the limitations of the DisplayPort version a couple months back that was limiting it to 4K at 30 hertz. I thought I could be mixing that up, so please don't anybody quote me or think that I'm like misrepresenting something. Just my memory is recalling something weird like that, and maybe it's on the NVIDIA Dev Talk forums that people were complaining about it or something or other. But anyway, so apparently it's not an issue anymore. So which NVIDIA driver version are you running again? If you could just quickly tell us that would be helpful probably to our viewers. You're in Arch Linux Master Race.
346.35.
Okay. 346.35. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm running.
And you froze.
I froze?
Yes. There we go. When I switch tags in Awesome, all of the window inputs freeze on OBS.
Oh, okay. But it unfreezes apparently.
No, I have to manually switch the window.
Okay. All right.
So that's
Well, we're good now though, obviously. So, going into our first topic, it's a doozy. What's that?
Unreal Engine on Ouya.
Yeah. Can you believe that, Shizzle? I don't know if anybody remembers the Ouya, but holy cow. We're talking Unreal Engine 4 here, folks. And it's going to be running on an Ouya. So those of you that don't remember, the Ouya is basically just an Android device. A little type of Android box. I don't know, Chrome box. I don't know what you really want to call it, because I'm pretty sure it's an ARM chip.
Right.
So it's man. I'm trying to look at the specs real quick of an Ouya. I'm at the Ouya devs, and I'm at Ouya everywhere. And I'm just trying to find, there's API, there's guidelines, there's game engines, but where the heck are the specs of the Ouya? Come on. What the hell? The Ouya docs. Okay, let's see. Ouya docs are right here on GitHub. And it probably doesn't have hardware. Why doesn't it just, this shouldn't be a difficult thing to figure out. Ouya hardware specs. And if anybody is in the
they're probably pretty light, because
well, yes, of course.
Android.
I mean, it's a $99 gaming console. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1.7 gigahertz quad core ARM Cortex A9 with 1 gig of RAM. So it does have an NVIDIA ULP GeForce graphics card, probably on the chip. Oh, its system on chip used is the NVIDIA Tegra 3. Yep. So it runs Android 4.1 Jelly Bean.
Oh, that old?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, what I'm looking at is 11 months old. So,
Oh,
take it with a grain of salt, everybody. I'm looking at on IGN.com the hardware specs of an Ouya, supposedly under wikis. So I don't know. It was last edited 11 months and 12 days ago. So I don't know how accurate it is, but this is what it was at one time. 1080p output, USB 2.0, one port. It's got one micro USB port. It's got a wireless controller, Wi-Fi, PG and N, Bluetooth, LE 4.0, and an Ethernet port. I mean, it's basically a 3-inch cube. That's the Ouya. I mean, when these first came out, I was just kind of like, $99 console that runs Android games, meh, whatever. Like, I could just get an Android phone and be able to play games and connect it to a display and do it that way. Like, why would I buy a $99 Ouya that can't make phone calls? Now it's telling me it's going to run the Unreal Engine 4. Do you happen to have maybe any YouTube videos that you could quickly Google or look for an Unreal Engine 4 demo that you could play for our stream? Like, even the one that I played one the other day during one of my live streams of an Unreal Engine 4, like walking through a house, and it was just surreal. The graphics were phenomenal. I mean, the engine looks really solid. I mean, anybody that knows the Unreal Engine, it's a solid gaming engine that I think. I mean, doesn't Deadfall Adventures and Painkiller Hell and Damnation run on Unreal Engine? Yeah, it
yes, and
does.
also
Yeah.
Killing Floor.
Yep, Killing Floor. I mean, we've had a lot of fun in Killing Floor. Us three, the show, the podcast has. We've played with other people in it. If you're just up for just shoot 'em up and devils and demons and bad shit, Killing Floor is a great fun game in my opinion. You're the one that you turned that on or turned me on to that game. You just were one day like, let's play Killing Floor. I'm just like, what game is that? The music's crazy in it, and it's all just different weapons, and it's got a unique aspect to it, to where you start at a point, you have to fight off a wave, and then you have to get to a gun store where you can buy new guns with in-game money that you get from killing things. I think it's been a while since we played it, but Unreal Engine 4, people, is going to run on an Ouya.
I don't know
Wow.
how.
I don't know how either, but it says it's going to do it. So I guess time will tell. We'll see. I mean, it's weird. A couple of comments that I'm seeing here. It says, so Unreal Engine 4 supports Ouya, but it doesn't support the Wii U. So like, who games on a Wii U these days? Who games? I mean,
There's people who like a superior console experience.
You just almost made me spit out my coffee. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
you come on. We don't want to alienate our viewers. Some people still enjoy console gaming.
well,
Like myself.
I mean, the Wii and the Wii U is actually the superior experience.
Oh, jeez.
On the console side.
To an Ouya, yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Not to an Ouya, but to its contemporaries. The PS4 and the Xbox.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Because Nintendo's kind of sold on the 60 FPS thing.
Oh, sure.
Most
they
of the
realize that
official Nintendo games run at 60 FPS.
Yeah, I hear you. Not like those Ubisoft titles or whoever's developers that are like, yeah, we know you want that cinematic feel, so we'll give you 24 frames per second. Like, what? Oh, man.
And Linus has a shirt for that. Keep on digging.
Right? Oh my gosh. You know, these game developers and publishers, you think they would get it by now. It's not like
What, really? You
gaming.
think so?
Right. Well, if the people that were making the decisions weren't the people that are just sitting in their office, at their nice oak wood stained desk with, burning money to light their cigar with, then, these types of things wouldn't happen and the gaming community wouldn't be up in uproar, over the just stupidity of some of these decisions that some people are making. Yeah, it's beyond me. I mean, that's a whole nother show in itself that we could just talk about. So we're not going to do that.
You
To
know, you know what would make
you got to hit full screen, bro. Why are you not putting that in full screen,
because
or will it screw up your?
it won't show correctly.
Okay, all right, never mind then. Sorry.
It would show full screen for me because I have Awesome set up correctly, but it's not going to show.
Okay, that's all
on the
good.
stream.
My bad. Yeah.
Osiris says no interwebs until the 11th. Oh,
What? That's a long way away.
I know.
What type of dude? If he tells us it's Time Warner Cable, I'm gonna shit a brick. Like, why? Why does it take 8 days to get a technician out to get internet set up? That's absurd.
It took me 15 days when I got set up in my apartment.
Really? I guess it's just been that long since I had to set up internet.
Yeah.
Like 15 years? Like I set that up that long ago when I bought my house. Uh that just seems too long to me, but whatever. I mean, we'll be happy to have Osiris back. So I guess how many shows do we have until the 11th? I'm looking at my calendar. So next week Wednesday he'll be on the show, hopefully.
Hopefully.
If his internet's working correctly the way it's supposed to. Awesome. All right, Osiris. Wait, his mouth didn't move in the image. I'm looking at it. It didn't move when he talked.
Who's that?
Osiris. His mouth isn't moving when he said, that his internet will be on the 11th.
Yeah, I'm looking at a tweet bubble.
Yeah, I know. Just kidding. Right. All right. So, Unreal Engine 4 on the Ouya, and then as a secondary little story part of that is Alibaba. I was kind of confused when I saw that. I don't really.
I mean, these are.
Alibaba is, I think, a gigantic company with tons of money. I think. I'm not sure. So horrible. I shouldn't even have mentioned it, but.
Okay, here's where I was going with my thought. If
Yeah.
Ubisoft made a game and it ran at 30 FPS only because it was so awesome-tastic that no graphics card could handle it, that would be one thing. But it's playing at 30 FPS on hardware it should run at 200 FPS on.
Oh, right.
Plus, them bugs.
I added a new link if you want to check that link out. So Alibaba is damn it, I just had it.
Yeah.
They invested $10 million in the Ouya, according to the Wall Street Journal. The investment could help the Ouya find new life in China. Basically, a market where gaming is, it's like set for growth. It's ready. I guess they want games. They want gaming consoles, $99 gaming consoles, whatever.
Yeah, Alibaba is one site, but what the video I'm showing right now is Unreal Paris. And this is one that will actually trip you up and make you wonder, is this real?
I see that right now. Yeah, that's crazy.
The camera is obviously a video game camera.
Oh yeah, this is the video that I played during my live stream a few days ago or a week ago. Yep. Like this is crazy.
You can tell it's not somebody with a camera walking around, but you cannot look at the environment, at least I can't, and make a firm decision on whether that's real or not.
I would agree with that statement. I mean that, yeah.
It,
If
it,
you just look at the texturing and the materials and the wood and the detail, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like
I
the
mean,
only reason we know it's game is because of the way that the in-game camera is pausing and slowly changing angles, and you can just tell it's not fluid like a human being would be walking around an apartment.
yeah. And this is one of those kind of things that just falls right into the uncanny valley.
Oh,
Meaning, this could be real.
wait, what? In a virtual in HoloLens from Microsoft?
No,
Or what do you mean?
the uncanny valley. Go look that up on Wikipedia.
All right. Louisiane one wants to know what our thoughts are on Star Citizen.
Don't have any thoughts on Star
I,
Citizen yet
right, I don't either, unfortunately.
because number one, it's kind of expensive.
Yep.
The last time I looked, the minimum buy-in was like $40, and it goes way up from there. And the Linux version isn't out yet, and the Windows version is not wine compatible at all because DX11.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I've never entertained Star Citizen either. You know, I'm certainly not a I it's a pretty popular game, obviously. It's big on, isn't that a big game on the competitive scene? Or am I thinking of
No,
something else?
no, it's not on the competitive scene. It's a, I think it counts as an MMO. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's an open world MMO.
Uh okay. I mean, what's the game? What's the big competitive game then? Starcraft? That's what it is.
Doesn't sound right.
There's some Star game. I thought that was huge on, Twitch competitive gaming scene that, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. So Star Citizen, I don't really have an opinion on it because I've never played it. I've never looked into it because it doesn't run on Linux. So, sorry, Louisiana one or Louise whatever Louise one. Um, so moving on to our next topic, we have The Witcher 3. Wow, Witcher 3, everybody,
It is
Wild Hunt.
it is graphically impressive gaming, according to Linux Game News.
Yeah, I mean, if you played The Witcher 2 on Linux,
Which I
let's just
haven't
like,
yet.
you haven't yet. Okay, well, let's not talk about the fact that it runs in a completely separate wrapper called Eon. Let's not even talk about that. Let's just talk about the game itself. The Witcher 3. It's going to be by CD Projekt Red, and the Linux build of The Witcher 2 did have some issues because it ran in a wrapper. But if you had a really hefty rig, a very powerful gaming rig, you could play it just fine. I have it. I played it on mine's not even that impressive. i5 4670K overclocked to 4.3 with 8 gig of RAM and a GTX 760 with Ubuntu 14.04.1. I was able to get 45 frames per second out of it. You got to make sure you have Uber sampling off, but in the heavy fight scenes and heavy action, it dipped down below 30, but I still enjoyed the game. I still enjoy the game. I thought they did a great job. They made it pretty transparent, the whole wrapper thing. The only reason it wasn't transparent was because the Linux gaming community just went ballistic on it. Like everybody was just like, Why did you do this? You made a totally separate wrapper when wine already existed, and that's not how we want to buy games. I mean, my whole opinion on wrappers is the fact that if you if the developer or publisher makes it so transparent that you can't tell that it runs in a wrapper, and you hit start game and you play the game and you have fun, what does it really matter whether it's in a wrapper or not? That's just my opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Uh, so the Witcher 3, the Wild Hunt, is going to be impressive in my opinion. I mean,
Well,
man.
I can get into why people go nuts over wrappers. You see, on your 760, I would expect that the game would run probably no less than 45 frames a second on in Windows,
Okay.
but then on Linux, it chugs.
Well, okay. I can't say for sure because I haven't played it on Windows. I've only played it in Linux, and like I said, I was getting around. I was using VOGL perf, which before that was around before the Steam FPS counter came to be. So I was actually seeing what I was getting for FPS, and it was definitely playable. It wasn't 60 FPS, so if you're one of those elite gamers that needs 1080p at 60, you're going to need a 780, a 980, or you're going to need something more powerful than a 760. We keep in mind the 760 is not, uber powerful graphics card. I mean, it's probably still considered mid-range, maybe at $220. Now it's probably a lot cheaper since the 900 series came out. But I spent 215 on it, 220 if I recall, and I'm happy with it. I guess it's Kepler based. I really want Maxwell based card. So I'm kind of just waiting. I'm saving my money and just waiting because I haven't made a decision yet on which 900 series card I want.
Wow.
Because I'm going to be using it for more than just gaming. So, before someone says, oh, you don't need a 900 series card to play the games that you have, well, I'm going to be using it for encoding. Maxwell is super efficient at encoding. Just so it's not just going to be for gaming, it's going to be multi-purpose card, so on and so forth. But The Witcher 3, I think it's going to be a great game. The Linux game news, they were able to basically play the game, I think. CD Projekt Red said that their goal was to make the best looking game ever, and that's a huge goal. um, I mean, right up there with what are some of the other insanely graphically intense, awesome games that we know for PC gaming? Crisis 3, maybe? Or,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
familiar with it. I've never played the
Okay.
Crisis series.
Yeah. Um, it's The Witcher is definitely a unique game. You get unique angles a lot through the game and stuff. And I wonder if you could quickly find a Witcher video on my YouTube channel to just show our audience what the Witcher game looks like, The Witcher 2. Um, if you can't, no big deal. We can move on. But The Witcher 3, I mean, you can scroll down on this article, and the pictures probably don't really do it justice,
I
But
can't.
according to the
I
Linux
can't
Game
enlarge
News,
them either.
okay. According to the Linux Game News, they're saying that The Witcher 3 is shaping up to be game changing. You know, it's uh it's what they're looking forward to is to find out the overall functionality of it in Linux. Because so far Windows is the most obvious choice. Uh and when it comes to the AAA game releases,
I'm
they
100 years
the
old.
Linux Game News expects a great deal more from CD Projekt Red. So I wonder if they're going to do it in another wrapper, if they're just going to do it in the Eon wrapper again, or if they transition over into wine. What's going to happen with that? I think that'll be interesting to say the least. I mean, it's the Witcher series. I it's a kind of game that I can't get into for some reason because of the whole um MMORPG. Is that what it is? No, it's not an MMORPG. It's just a RPG, right?
Yeah.
Or okay, it's just an RPG. So, but there's like crafting in it, so you can craft new armor or craft a new blade. You can put spells on your blades and spells like while you're fighting bosses and fighting enemies, and there's choices you get to make. It's definitely a cool game. I mean, I'm not disappointed in me buying the game. So, The Witcher 3 is going to be awesome, according to the Linux Game News. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm trying to find the release date. I'm
I
not
think they've
seeing
bumped
it.
that back to May.
Okay. All right. Well,
But there's
keep an
good.
eye out for The Witcher 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's good reason for that. They actually want to release something that's
that's
finished.
good. Right? Yeah.
Now the
Not like EA at Ubisoft and whoever else these Windows PC game developers and publishers are, who are just all about the money and all about that. They set a deadline, and the big wigs say you better release the damn game on that deadline, or your ass is in a sling. That's probably what ends up happening.
yeah,
So they're like, "Fuck, we just got to release this shit game. Here you go, everybody. Tell us what's wrong with it. We already know that there's a million things wrong. So find the new stuff that's wrong, and we'll try to fix it over time." I mean, Battlefield 4 is still broken, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
What the f?
I
What
have
the f?
I played it once, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, yeah. And Battlefield Hardline just came out, and I guess I'll point this out to everybody. Even though it doesn't run in Linux, it is free right now. It's an open beta from yesterday until like February 12th or something. I don't know. It's not in my head because it's a Windows game, so I don't really care too much. But I thought I would mention it to everybody because it is free, and I'm going to actually be booting into Windows tonight after the podcast and playing Battlefield Hardline because I want to play it so that I can interact with other gamers and talk about the game. We're gamers. I'm a gamer, and yes, I still boot into Windows. This is the first time in months, so that I can try out a free game. I
It's
mean,
because
what the
you're
hell? It's going to be a $60 game, so I figure, what the hell? It's free.
it's because you're a Windows peasant.
Fuck off. I thought we already had this discussion. I've been running Linux since 2005. Yeah, that's not as long as some people watching the stream or some people out there. I'm not bragging by any means, but haven't I been running Linux longer than you?
Technically, yes.
All right, then. No, it's not a contest. You use whatever operating system you like using, is the bottom line. Oh, do you found my video?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so there's rolling in it. I mean, I don't think that's anything special, but like the flame, you can just like throw this flame out of his hand. It's kind of neat.
I think I could
I
do without the motion blur, but it's not bad.
Now, is that, this is how bad of a gamer knowledge I have, is like, is motion blur something I could have changed in the settings, or what is that?
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard
in the
other
settings.
I've Okay, I've heard other people talk about motion blur, and I'm just like, what? That's just blur when he does a roll, or when there's fast motion, or what?
Um, it just mostly you see it when you pan the camera around.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, I don't know where all our viewers are tonight. I just took a peek at Hitbox and we got 4 viewers, and one of them is me. YouTube has 3, so that's kind of cool, and Twitch has 2. I just want to say thank you to everybody that did come to the podcast. Uh, we appreciate the support. We appreciate you watching us this week, and we look forward to hopefully having you as a viewer of the podcast when you can make it. If you can't make it live, we do upload the archived video on YouTube. It's usually not edited anymore. We stopped editing them just to save time, because generally we try to run our show without requiring edits. We just do the show, and just we don't really need to edit it. So thank you everybody that came. I just wanted to get that out there. So moving on to the next topic, we have an open source alternative to Minecraft. And I'm sure some of you maybe already know of this. It's called Minetest. Have you heard of it, Atomic?
I have actually not heard of this. What do we have here?
All right. Well, apparently it is a voxel-based game, and I guess it's free. Am I reading that right? It's free and open source. It's released under the LGPL 2.1 or later, and it looks just like Minecraft. You can click on the images if you want, on the live stream, whatever. It looks pretty damn similar. I'll say that. I'd be interested to find out, so it does have easy plugin based modding API. You can add blocks, tools, and features to the game. It has multiplayer support, for tons of players. It's got, voxel based lighting with gameplay consequences, apparently like buildings with torches and light caves and stuff. It runs natively on Windows, Linux, OS X, and FreeBSD, and it even supports multiple languages, which were all translated by the community.
There we go.
So it was started back in October of 2010, almost 5 years ago. It's now developed by a random bunch of lunatics, and it was designed to be simple, stable, and portable. It's lightweight enough to run on fairly old hardware, and it, one of the people says that it runs on a laptop with an Intel 945 GM graphics.
Which is fairly old.
Yeah, I would say so. They recommend a CPU of dual core or higher. They have IRC channel, which is # Minetest and Minetest-dev on irc.freenode.net. Their, core developers are utilize OpenHub.
And get this, it's in the AUR. Archmaster
That's cool.
Race.
Archmaster Race. I knew you were going to throw that in there. Let me check the Xubuntu PP or Xubuntu apt. The repositories, the default repositories. I doubt it's in there, but sudo aptitude search Minetest. Oh my gosh, it's right there. Wow. It's freaking in the default repositories. The Minetest client and the Minetest server and the mods. Wow. Let me do a show and see what version it's at. It's at version 0.4.9 plus repack. I don't know what that means, but I'm definitely impressed that it's in the default Xubuntu repositories. Like, I didn't add any PPA for this, people. I just simply looked in the regular repos. That's kind of impressive, in my opinion.
It is.
So, if you're interested in Minecraft, here you go. This is a perfect example of open source for the win, people. the community bands together and builds something that's super similar to a commercially available proprietary, piece of software, and just keeps making it, I don't know how active the development is, so I don't want to miss speak or miss state anything, but I mean, it looks like Minecraft. It does. It looks just like Minecraft. I don't know if there's resource packs available. I don't know, I don't know much about it, but someone mentioned it to me. I wish I recalled who, because I would definitely give you a shout out right now. Whoever mentioned Mind Test to me, thank you. We're talking about it right now during the podcast because I run a Minecraft server. I had to pay $25 for Minecraft or whatever the cost is, and
I think it's
it's a
$27, isn't
yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, I know it's not free, like Mind Test. So that's kind of cool.
it?
There you
Already
go. Open
installed.
source, open source. He just says already installed. That'd be funny if you launched it right now. But I don't want you to mess up the stream, so don't.
I don't. If it acts anything like
Yeah.
Minecraft, it probably wouldn't. But I'll wait.
Well, anyway. All right. We got our last topic. Yeah, our last topic, and it's a doozy. Is NVIDIA G-Sync a scam?
Well, technically, yeah.
So this is an article that was posted on, of all sites, Phoronix. Apparently, NVIDIA is stating that you need a monitor with a G-Sync module in it. And there's already been some people that have modded the driver to bypass the G-Sync module check, and it seems to be working. It uses a standard adaptive sync feature of DisplayPort 1.2, which is the same tech that's used in AMD's FreeSync. It blacklists the monitor when the proprietary module is not detected.
Yeah.
This is huge. I mean, I don't know how huge it is, but I think it's a pretty big deal.
Well, NVIDIA's kind of been doing some screwy shit with their driver. For example, the driver doesn't function correctly when it detects it's being run in a hypervisor, which is,
Oh,
uh, if you think of like VirtualBox,
yeah. Yep.
but with hardware pass through.
Right, right.
And when it detects that it's running in one of those environments, it does some screwy shit. M. Bodie says he'd be happy if they would just get Minecraft off of Java.
That's like saying you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without jelly. I don't think Minecraft's ever going to come off of Java. That's what its core, its core development was. Yeah, but I mean, it's an argument I'm sure many people have wished or thought of, because
The only reason,
Java's got just the memory leak issues and just weird stuff's going on.
yeah,
Right? Or what were you gonna say?
I think Minecraft is the only reason that Java's still around.
Right? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would probably agree with that statement. I mean,
I mean, for
there's a lot you can
years,
do in Java.
for years, I went without even seeing Java applets
Right.
on websites. So it's like,
Yeah.
Java, what's that? No, I've never heard of that.
Yep. That's pretty crazy.
Max CFM says, I'm sure Microsoft will make that happen.
What? Kill Java, or make Java go away?
Yeah. From Minecraft. I
Right.
doubt it.
I doubt it too. I'm still waiting to find out what Microsoft's going to do with Minecraft. I think every major Minecraft server person who are making a killing on Minecraft servers, hosting, and just worlds and websites are all cringing and basically just waiting to find out what the hell Microsoft's plans are for Minecraft, because holy cow, at any time they could say, fuck off, everyone. You can't be charging money. Like, you can't mod my game. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, look at what happened to Bucket already. Bucket was a modded Minecraft server, or modded Minecraft, basically, reverse engineered, I believe, modded. And the person who did it tried doing something, from my understanding. I could have the story a little bit wrong, but he tried doing something, and Mojang or Notch or something was just like, no. So then all of a sudden, all the code, boom, it's gone. Bucket code disappeared from the face of the internet. It's all closed now. It's closed source. That's the whole reason Spigot and various other things have popped up. You know, I, I think so. It's interesting, the whole Minecraft thing, because it's something that a lot of people, I think, are exploiting, if that's the right term I should use. I myself do run a Minecraft server. Am I making money off of it? No, I don't currently. Do I plan to possibly charge for Minecraft players? Maybe. But that's a whole, like, YouTube video on its own, and discussion, not really for this podcast. You know, I don't want to advertise Ubucraft like tons on the show, because it's like a totally separate thing. So we can talk about that another time. But I guess I want to provide a Minecraft experience like no other Minecraft experiences out there, for way cheaper than all these money whores are doing currently. I mean, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I want to provide an experience that's better than anything out there, than what people are currently doing. I'll say that. I mean, capitalism for the win. Yay, you can do what you want with something, and charge people for what you did. You should be able to get paid for the amount of work you put in. People are connecting worlds, and you can go from player versus player to all of a sudden skyblock, where you're in the air and you can die if you fall off of an island. People are creating mini games in Minecraft, and all of that. So there's people that are doing work and then charging people, for them to play on those mini games and those servers. And that's been a racket for years now. I mean, there's several YouTubers that have transitioned over from Call of Duty scene to Minecraft, and I just feel like those people are taking advantage of the younger crowd, possibly, by charging money for certain things. But anyway, like I said, that's a totally different show. Mind Test, go check it out. It's free. And that was the last topic. This topic is G-Sync. Is it fake? Is it a ripoff? And apparently, what this article is stating, that was just posted 5 days ago, 6 days ago, is that you can bypass the G-Sync module check and have, what are they saying? They're saying that you can bypass the check and still utilize the G-Sync monitor?
Well, basically, G-Sync supposedly is just built off of FreeSync. Not FreeSync, but Adaptive Sync.
Adaptive sync. Okay, right. All right, gotcha. Huh.
And so, technically, if you disable the blacklist in the driver, there actually wouldn't be a blacklist, it would be a whitelist.
Right.
And it can just use Adaptive Sync monitors just perfectly fine. But I have only personally heard of this occurring on a laptop where the panels are by default uh, adaptive, and that's a power saving feature that they will actually scale down their frame rates quite a bit, or their refresh rates rather, quite a bit to save power.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the whole G-Sync and FreeSync will be interesting to see what ends up happening with all that. They both technologies were shown at CES, right? I'm pretty sure.
Of course they were.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And the whole thing is supposedly, if you have an AMD card, you get the FreeSync monitors. If you have an NVIDIA card, you get the G-Sync monitors. Uh, I I guess time will tell what's going to happen with all that. But that is a pretty big like segmentation of customers now. Because now not only do the customer have to make a choice of which graphics card that they want to buy, whether you're team red or team green, now you have to buy the applicable monitor if you really want to get this um, tear-free experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you that don't know anything about G-Sync or FreeSync, maybe we could just briefly catch everybody up, Atomic, on what really it's accomplishing.
Normally, a desktop monitor will refresh at 60 hertz. So it'll display 60 frames per second. But if your game is not running
And
that
a frame is just a picture.
yes, frame is a
Yep.
still picture,
Yep.
and that's how motion in games is displayed with a series of still
Yeah.
pictures.
Right.
That's how any video is played.
Yep.
But if your graphics card isn't powerful enough to run your games at 60 frames per second, you get screen tearing where you'll have the remnant of this frame with the portion of this frame that's been rendered. And for some people, that's kind of a deal breaker.
Yep. Yep. I mean, even I went through the whole screen tearing issue on my gaming setup because of the type of unique setup that I have, where I have a dual monitor setup, and in Linux it runs the X server, and the X server starts always at the left top corner, or is it bottom corner? The
Zero
far
zero.
left. Yeah, 0 0. It starts at 0 0 basically. Think of it as coordinates, X and Y. So it's, the X server always starts at the farthest left. So I have a monitor that's connected, and that's on my left. The gaming monitor that I like to game on, which is my best monitor, 2 millisecond, response time, Asus 1080p panel, is right in front of me, and its X coordinate is plus 1920. So what was happening was, I guess the NVIDIA driver, along with X server, along with the Mesa driver stack or whatever graphics stack, could not synchronize the game frames to the refresh rate of the monitor because my monitor was not at 0 0. So it was trying to sync only to the monitor that's located at 0 0. So I was getting screen tearing. It was annoying. It is annoying. I can see why AMD and Nvidia are coming up with this, because screen tearing sucks balls. Basically you see a line sometimes at the top of your screen, and you see it's a horizontal line because it's two images that don't line up, don't match. Or it's sometimes in the middle, or sometimes at the lower end. It all depends on how everything is occurring. So what I had to end up doing was, this is just my solution. Everybody's solution will be different to solve screen tearing in Linux. I'll just say that right away. I ended up installing Compton It's an OpenGL um, compositing engine, very lightweight compositing engine that is supposed to solve the screen tearing issue. Now, it did for me and my particular setup. It solved it. I'm not going to say that it's going to solve it for everybody. Some people don't have screen tearing issues because they only game on one monitor, or they game on their monitor that's located at 0, 0. So some people, it's not even an issue at all. Screen tearing isn't even a thing for some people. But if you look at the internet, especially in like Xbox Media Center or running VLC or any type of video playback of like a movie or a video, there's people complaining a lot about screen tearing with like Intel integrated graphics and stuff. And there's like, oh my gosh, there's like a dozen different solutions, all these crazy things that you can do to solve, quote unquote, solve screen tearing. I mean, you'll find tons of YouTube videos on it that all say a different thing. You know, do this, and do this, and you'll be great. And you go to the next page, and it's do these other things, and you'll be fine. Like, no wonder some people are just like, this is bullshit. I don't. In this day and age, I mean, Linux is its own worst enemy. It's awesome because it allows an enthusiast or a person to do whatever they want with their operating system. Where it becomes difficult now is because of so many choices and so many different things, it creates a difficulty for developers or game developers, so that there's a consistency with what's going on in the base operating system, whether it's the compositing engine, whether it's the graphics card and driver, so on and so forth. The window manager, the desktop manager, whatever you want to call it, the desktop environment, the DE. I mean, so I can understand why some game developers are just like, we're not touching Linux, bro. We don't want to develop for Linux. There's just way too many issues. But I'll tell you right now, Aspire Media did it. They did it with 2K games. Look at Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. I think we're successful game launches, successful games that they're making money on. I'm pretty sure, because last time we discussed it, they were just getting close to breaking even. You know, so to some companies, breaking even is not is not business smart. You know, that's not how you keep a business going, is by breaking even. Certainly not. Don't get me wrong. But I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here. I do realize that. I just wanted to point out that, you know, screen tearing is a thing for some people, and there's different solutions for different people's setups. So it'll be unique to your setup. If you have a screen tearing problem and you run Linux games, I would be happy to try to assist you to get it fixed. Whether you're in, you know, Ubuntu, which uses Unity, on 1404, which uses I believe Compton. I'm sorry, not Compton. It uses Compiz compositing engine, or whether you're in Kubuntu with a K and it runs Kwin as its compositing engine, or you're in something like Fedora, which uses, again, I believe it uses Compiz. Atomic, can you help? Or you're not sure?
I really don't know what uses Compiz and what doesn't.
Right. Okay. Well, basically, what's going to solve or not solve your screen tearing issue is most likely the compositing engine, or the lack of compositing engine, possibly, maybe. I mean, the whole thing is, like Atomic said, your monitor is 60 hertz, most likely. So that means that it expects 60 frames per second, and that would mean that there's no screen tearing if your game can consistently deliver 60 FPS the entire time. That should be, theoretically, a perfect gaming experience, right?
Yeah.
So when the action starts getting intense and people are like, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, you know, now all of a sudden your computer is like, it's trying hard to push those 60 FPS and it drops below it. So now you have, a different, you're not giving the monitor it's frame 60 frames per second, and that's when you start, running into issues.
And the other issue that comes about is when using um, VSync. If you dip below 60 while using VSync, it automatically goes to 30. You and that Zippo.
Yeah. Yep. I Depending on who you talk to, they would tell you to stay away from VSync. I I played with VSync a little bit when I was having my screen tearing issues. I was having screen tearing in Minecraft. I was having screen tearing in, my Borderlands 2. I was super irritated. I tried every solution on the internet that you could think of, like doing weird shit with the X server by adding an extra switch to it, like in the grub boot menu, and just, oh my gosh, I did way too much stupid stuff because I followed the internet. Don't do that, people. That's the last thing that I want you to do. Is when you have an issue, you go and you search on Google and then you find the solution and you see that one person says, this is what fixed it. And then you just go and randomly do it. Don't do that. Don't be me. You need to fully understand what you're implementing and why. And you need to basically, you know, ensure that that solution is going to work for your setup before you all of a sudden just start going and changing all this stuff like I did. So what ended up happening was when I couldn't solve it, a good friend of the show, I don't know, he likes to be silent, so I'm not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is. He basically said, Ubu, you're an idiot. Get rid of all those changes that you did, put them back to the way they were. Let's start back to the basics, get back to the basics, and just install Compton and just use this config, which is a very streamlined Compton.conf file in my home directory. Boom, screen tearing gone. So, the moral of the story that I took out of that was the internet is filled with solutions that are unique solutions to that person's setup. They are not the solution for everyone. So just keep that in mind, people. If you're a Linux gamer and you're new to Linux and you're having an issue, don't just do the first solution you find. Just, bookmark that page or leave that tab open a new tab, go to the next Google result or the next Google search result and read that one. The only reason I know as much as I know right now in 10 years of Linux is from reading and trying and doing and breaking. That's the only reason that I know as much as I do, and I still have stuff to learn. I mean, just like with life, you're always going to have new experiences, new opportunities, new learning, so reading and more reading, forums, blogs, just watching this podcast. Hopefully we're educating you or informing you of things so that you can have a better experience. That was one of our goals, I would say, of our podcast. At least for me, it was. It's to inform the Linux gamers out there, maybe even Windows, dare I say, just about gaming and little issues here and there and making it so that you have a good experience, Right? Right, Atomic?
Yep.
All right. I kind of got off onto a little tangent there. That's pretty much going to do it for the show. I believe. Let me look back at the topics real quick.
That's about all for my glass of wine. So,
Oh, so perfect. You finished a glass of wine
hmm,
during, or so that means the show's done.
yep.
All right. So don't forget, we have a Steam group that is growing ever so, ever so slightly. Every week it grows a little bit, and we appreciate that. It allows you to quickly connect with us as gamers and game with us, and have a good time together. We currently have 73 members in Linux Tech and Gaming. Linux T and G. It is a Steam group. We seems to be we're trying to get more active on it. We're almost utilizing Steam like our website forum, sort of. I mean, we could use it like that, I guess is what I'm saying. So we have an official website that's really just for archiving our kind of our show all in one place. We sometimes do gaming news articles. We sometimes do blog style posts on linuxtechandgaming.com. Obviously, we have the podcast. And then we got this little Steam group over here that we're trying to utilize to create a community, to create, a group of people that enjoy Linux gaming together and actually game together, So, like my personal live stream, we get together and 8 of us or 12 of us start playing TF2, and I have fun. All my viewers say they have fun. I would like to see you there one day, you know? Yeah, you. I'm pointing to you right there. You can see me pointing at you. So, come and join our Steam group. We try to I like to have, discussions going. Like one of the topics that I posted in the discussions area was um is Borderlands the pre-sequel worth buying? And apparently our Steam group is not very active because not one person has replied. But hey, we're trying. So come on over, join the Steam group. That's the easiest way to connect with Osiris, myself, and Atomic. Because then when you're in the group, we can quickly connect to each other. Because maybe we don't, the individual maybe doesn't want to add you to their own Steam friends list. It's an easy way to connect through the Steam group, basically. And I'd love to game with you. I'm sure Atomic wouldn't mind gaming with you. And Osiris, I definitely know likes gaming with people in the Steam group. So yeah,
When he has an internet connection.
right, when he has an internet connection. Right on.
That's an
All
iffy
right.
proposition.
Right. And of course, last but not least, we always end our show with our contact information. There's really not much to be left to say. I mean, to say it's right below our Twitter handles are right below each of our name, right each below of our images, um, and that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me is on Twitter.
Yep.
You can obviously connect to us through IRC. That's been on the screen the entire time. You can connect to us through the Steam group. That's that we always tell you about that. I mean, each of us have our own YouTube channels, each of us have our own streams. So, there's really no excuse for you not being able to get a hold of us. Now, we all each have our own lives, and our own stuff going on. So, if we don't get back to you right away, that doesn't mean we're ignoring you. So don't feel like we're, intentionally ignoring you if we don't get back to you within X amount of time, because I know that that's easy to fall into that. When I start following a YouTuber or somebody that live streams or something, and I tweet them when they specifically say, like, hey, tweet me and I'll answer your question, and then you don't hear anything, and it's like, wait, you just told me to tweet you, and now you're not replying to me. What was that about? But it's just a matter of like how fast their Twitter timeline moves, or maybe they weren't looking at Twitter that hour and they didn't scroll back and look at their mentions and just, random stuff that can happen, guys. So don't ever feel like anybody of us are ignoring you, is what I'm trying to get out here.
And you got to understand that 2 out of 3 of the Linux Tech and Gaming crew are Luddites. Osiris and I do not have smartphones.
Right. Yep. So I think actually Atomic just got one. I mean, I'm sorry. Fail. Osiris just got one, I think. Only because he was talking to me on Skype today.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right, right. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this week's episode of Linux Tech and Gaming. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, get a hold of us through Twitter or however you want to get a hold of us, and we might entertain that idea. We definitely don't want to like do the whole sponsorship and advertising thing and affect our viewers' experience, but we also have expenses, that are incurred by running a podcast. It's all coming out of our pockets, personally. Um, I did create a Patreon account. I'm not pushing it by any means on anybody. If money that goes towards the Patreon campaign does directly get contributed to all three of us. If that's a question of yours, if you're wondering. The other ways that you can help support Linux Tech and Gaming is by simply sharing out the live stream or simply telling a friend about the live show, the podcast, or, there's plenty of ways to show your support for our show, that don't involve monetary contribution. So, we're glad to have you here just as a viewer. That's perfect. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm happy that you're here. You're viewing it, whether you're watching it live or you are watching it from a video on demand, archived, or you're just listening to the audio podcast right now. Thank you. We got together and decided to do this thing 23 weeks ago, and it's been a challenge, and it's been fun, and I keep looking forward to every week trying to inform, educate, have fun, relax. Like, trying not to make it a job is something that's, it's not an easy task. The goal was for three nerds to get together and talk about gaming and have fun, not turn it into a full-time job. And you know what I mean? So Osiris oftentimes has to tell me that because I'm really goal-oriented and focused and driven, and sometimes I get too caught up in the moment, and I need to just just take a deep breath, smell the roses, enjoy life, and have fun. That's what it's all about, guys. I look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to do it for episode 23. Have a good one, guys. If you're interested in playing Battlefield Hardline, stick around, because I'm going to be booting into Windows and playing that in a little bit.
Heretic.
Atomic, you going to be there or no?
No, because I don't have Battlefield installed.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Later, everybody.
Before we go, I'm going to show you one
Yeah,
video.
of course. Go ahead, Atomic.
After I skip this ad.
You want to what?
Go watch this video.
Well, watch what video?
My 4K video.
Oh. Okay. Wait, where'd you put it? Or what are we doing?
Because I'm sharing it.
Okay, sorry. All right.
And there you see the true power of a 4K monitor.
Damn! Holy shit, that was cool how you just kind of backed out all of a sudden. Behold, true gloriness, PC Master Race, 4K. Wow.
Yes.
Epic, Atomic. I'm impressed. Oh, man. Oh man, I missed Systrom's comment about reading Rainbow. That's fucking hilarious. I remember that show. Oh my gosh.
Well, everybody, see you later.